Hello, and welcome to Business Ethics. My name is Dr. Celeste Mosick, and I'm going to be your instructor for this term. I wanted to take the opportunity to go through a quick navigation of this course and also to describe what we're going to be covering because it's a really interesting course. So you all know the difference between right and wrong, but sometimes we get into very cloudy, fuzzy situations as managers or leaders, and sometimes we make the wrong decisions. We see it all over the news today. So you may find yourself faced with an unethical situation, and you're going to need to think about what you value most as an individual and as a professional to guide your response. It is said that 53% of employees who report ethical misconduct in their companies said they experienced some form of retaliation. So that's very concerning. So you may find yourself working in a culture that accepts and even facilitates unethical behavior. And so we want to be able to arm you with as much information about good decision making as we can for this class when you are in the workforce, for sure. So obviously, this is the study, ethics is the study of business situations, activities, and decisions. So some examples, some recent examples, Wells Fargo Bank, their employees created fraudulent checking and savings accounts on behalf of their clients without their consent. We'll be looking at that case in this class. What about, do you remember the Volkswagen emissions scandal a few years ago? They cheated on the pollution tests. And interestingly, they're still the number one car seller globally, even though that particular event happened. How about the Apple iPhone battery scandal recently, a couple of years ago? United Airlines forcibly removed a passenger and mistreated others. There's been reports of sexual harassment at Uber and Tesla. What about dealing with marijuana in the workplace? That's a big one in the news right now. And also recently there is Activision Blizzard Incorporation, which is a video game company. They make World of Warcraft and Diablo. They have fostered a frat boy culture in which female employees are subjected to constant sexual harassment, unequal pay, and retaliation. So there's a lot of ethical issues that are common in the business workplace, which we'll see and we'll discuss in this course. Diversity and discrimination, also illegal, right? What could happen? How about age discrimination? What about gender and sexual discrimination? Harassment causes a toxic work environment or sexual harassment. You have probably studied that in some other classes. What about unethical accounting? I mean, the cornerstone to that was the Enron case, which produced the Sarbanes-Oxley Act. That was back in 2011, so that's been a long time ago. Health and safety, privacy, and questionable use of company technology, especially nowadays when many of us can work from home. You know, how do you know what your employees are doing, and how will you count the time? Is that time theft when they go out onto social media and check their TikTok? What about environmental responsibility? There's a lot of ethical issues that go along with companies and their responsibility, and laws and regulations that surround the environment. There's a lot of other subsets of business ethics. Healthcare. Now, you've probably heard about experimental medicine, ethics of healthcare for undocumented immigrants. There's also abortion. We're not going to cover abortion in this class. So we're not going to have discussion on politics, religion, or abortion in this class. It just gets to be out of hand. So other subsets are food industry ethics, like concerns about ultra processed foods. What about genetically modified foods? What about animal welfare? Use of chemicals and pesticides, trade agreements. If you work in hospitality, what are your vendors doing, or any other business? That leads me to marketing ethics, which we'll definitely cover in this class. So businesses targeting poor people, like loan companies, and marketing campaigns that encourage obesity, and advertising alcohol to attract young people, maybe such as yourselves. Okay, so there's a lot of really interesting subjects in this class I just wanted to touch on to whet your appetite. Next, I want to go through a little bit how to navigate this class. So up here, you're going to see, we call them breadcrumbs in D2L. Of course, over on the left-hand side is content. This is a second-year course, so you should be pretty familiar with how most classes work here at Delaware Tech. So in this specific class, please make sure that you go through the welcome and getting started. There's some pertinent information. There's our textbook. Yes, you need the textbook. You cannot get along without it. There's our schedule, and there's also a printable schedule which you can print out and put all those dates in your calendar. So here is everything else that, resources, all kinds of good resources in there. And, the policies for this course in particular, we have a new late policy that was instituted last semester. Be sure that you read and understand that, because that's going to be pertinent to you if you run into some issues. There is quite a bit of writing in this class, so if you don't like writing, you're probably not going to love this class very much. So those can be found in assignments and course resources. This is an 11-week course, so it's going to move very quickly. You've got 2 short papers to do and a semester-long project, which really follows the measurable performance objectives, and it also follows the chapters in this book. So when you get started, just get started on writing the paper, and it won't sneak up on you at the last minute, because again, this moves a little more quickly than your regular semester course. We also have our weekly folder, so in each week you can see what's expected of you. So what's due this week, and readings that you probably need to do for best success, and to understand the material that's in the textbook. Some of it's kind of dry. And you can't just get along with just reading the PowerPoints, okay? But they're there for resources. So the first week, you're going to have to pick a company that interests you for your business ethical case study, and it is going to be part of this Ethisphere, World's Most Ethical Company. So what do they do to make themselves successful? Why are they on the list? Okay, so and you got to run it by me. So we'll have 5 discussion boards. You're going to have some worksheets to complete every week. You're going to have a quiz just about every week, and there are 3 exams in this course throughout the weeks, okay? So there's a lot of good resources, things that you will need to just hunt and peck, so you can find things to help you with your case study and also with your article summaries and article analysis. And so I've listed some really super business ethics type sites. And, at the end of the day, ethics is an actual job option out there. So to be the chief ethics officer, you can make a lot of money just, looking through and deciding on which policies apply to your specific company. So business codes of ethics in every company are going to be really something that you're going to need to understand. What do they cover in those codes of conduct? And so in this class, we will cover that too. So we do also have in this first week an optional Zoom meeting, which is going to be held on September 21st at 5 o'clock. So I look forward to meeting you all. I hope you can make it. I am very attentive to my email, so if you have any questions about this course, please don't hesitate to email me at any time. And I'm usually on there, numerous times a day. And I'm very happy to answer any of your questions. And of course, in the Welcome and Getting Started page, you can find my email address and my contact information. And I really look forward to working with you in this really interesting class where, again, some things are not cut and dry. And so, and a lot of people just try to take the easy way out. Are you one of those people? I hope not. Anyway, have a great semester. I look forward to working with you, and please take care.